subset of men who move among women with ease. These rare men are those who have consciously learned the ability to see women in their natural state, who can see right through their makeup, their walls, their insecurities, and their loss. They see women as they really are. Women can sense immediately when they are in the presence of a man who likes women, who thinks they are beautiful, who makes them feel lovely, who delights in them. He genuinely likes women, and men that like women are liked by women. So, women open themselves up to him willingly. This is because he understands the things that women universally respond to. He is not like other men, and women know it. So who are these men, allowed to roam unhindered in the land of women? And what qualities do they possess that compel women to allow them liberties not afforded to other men? These are the men we call naturals, natural seducers, a natural facility with women, a man who is comfortable in the land of women. Now, there have been times at speaking engagements where I've been introduced as an example of a true natural. ZAN, my friend ZAN, is a natural. And as I'm walking up to the stage, I'm scratching my head and I'm thinking, is that really true? Am I really a natural? Is that really what I am? Am I a true natural? Well, let's run down the usual checklist, shall we, and find out. Do I believe in women? Yes, I do. Am I comfortable around women? I am. Do I flirt with women? Of course. All ages, shapes, and sizes. Have I dated beautiful women? Yes, I have. Have I had great relationships with wonderful women? The best. What about this question? Have I slept with a lot of women? More than most, I suppose. Have I had threesomes? Or more sums, more than three? So am I a natural? Does that make me a natural? Well, how about this question? Can I extract a phone number from a girl in a club or a party? Well, yeah, I can. Can I perhaps extract the entire girl from the club or the party? Forget the phone number. Yeah, I suppose I can. But there are other guys that are better at doing that than me. Like I always say, I am not a pickup artist. That's not what interests me. How about this question? Can I take your woman away from you? Probably not. After all, you're most likely a good husband or boyfriend. She loves you. She wouldn't leave you for me. But can I convince her to have a secret affair with me? Well, no, that's a different question. I wouldn't, of course. That's not the way I do things. But yeah, I probably could. You see, I am a lover of beauty. Beauty in all its forms, art in all its forms. And that attitude will make you automatically more magnetic to women. Tactics and techniques will allow you to take a girl home from a club or a party. We'll teach you that. But what I'm talking about is so much deeper. Because given an hour with a very same girl, your delight in her will create a kind of poetry for her, a connection. So, here is the part that really interests me, as opposed to picking up a girl. What interests me is the notion of creating chemistry and amplifying attraction. You know, the first time you spend time with her over coffee or a glass of wine. So maybe I'm not the best at convincing a girl to leave the club with me, but give me an hour with that very same girl, and I can pretty much guarantee that she will remember me for the rest of her life. So does that make me a natural? Let's see, do I believe that I can seduce any given woman in any room? Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. Now, am I always successful in seducing any given woman in the room? No. And that is a very, very important point for you to remember. You see, my ability and my belief in my ability to seduce women is not necessarily related to my actual success in seducing women. But I'll tell you this, that attitude will take you very far. It is endearing to women, and there is no harm in it. Believe me, it will open far more doors for you than it closes. It's refreshing to women to hear that. I simply decided one day long ago that every woman that talks to me or interacts with me at all is interested in me. It's not always true, of course, but it is a very fun and empowering way to conduct your life. So, was I born a natural? Was I born naturally good with women? No. And I'll tell you why. It's because the first secret of naturals is this: they're not born with it. Every man throughout history who was good with women was good because he chose to be. At one point in his life, tired of rejection, he decided to consciously get that part of his life handled. He made a choice. And so he began to interact with women. He began to listen to women. He tried and failed. And he retained the things that worked and discarded the things that didn't. In other words, he invented himself. So there's nothing I say or do that you can't say or do. It's all just a choice. Naturals are not born, they're made. Now, I've been interested in this for a very long time. Why is it that some men and women, really, seem to have an aura, a presence, a way of drawing others into their reality? Can it be broken down and described? Can it be taught? Can it be learned? You know, if you have a friend who is a natural, or had a friend in college, for instance, who is good with women, and you happen to ask him about his prowess with women, he probably looked at you kind of blankly and said something like, I don't know, just be yourself. Well, we know that doesn't work. You see, the thing about men who are naturals, who are good with women, is that they have a very hard time describing exactly what it is they do or say. It just comes, well, naturally. Now, the first thing someone will shout out is that these guys are that way because they have a lot of self-confidence. Well, this is correct, but it isn't all. There's something more than self-confidence. It's an inner clarity, an understanding, a centeredness, a purpose. Well, I can only speak from my own experience and what has rung true to me all these years. And I have identified 10 traits common to all natural seducers. 10 traits. Every man in history who was good with women had all of these traits. All of them. 10 traits. There may be more, but these are the ones I have identified. And as I reflected on this, it dawned on me that I don't think it has ever really been described before, these traits. But I really truly believe this is the essence of what we are trying to capture. And bear in mind, this is all very hard to describe. These are a set of very powerful and yet rarely understood concepts. Very subtle. And there is some overlap. But let's take a look at these 10 traits and see if we can't catch a glimpse into the mindset of a natural. Trait number 1. To a natural seducer, they are all his girls. Every woman is his woman. He has immense compassion for women. He sees their sadness and their loss, their faded dreams, their dead and dying relationships, their stultifying careers and responsibilities, and he makes it his mission to impart beauty to her life again. And he does this with every woman, including the 60-year-old waitress who is serving him eggs for breakfast. They are all his girls. He makes that waitress shine. He makes her feel pretty. He makes her feel alive and inspired once again. It's because he believes that women deserve passion, and he knows they are not getting it from the men they are involved with. So it is his mission to correct this imbalance. This is the first trait. A natural seducer has compassion for women. All women. Remember, they're all his girls. It is his mission in life to make them feel alive and pretty again. And he does it. To illustrate that, I'll tell you a story at a time I was at a party. And it was a really fancy party. There's a lot of people there in a nice big house. And a lot of pretty girls there. And I remember I was sitting on the arm of a couch. And there was 3 girls sitting on the couch. pretty maidens all in a row. And the one I liked was the one in the middle. But I was talking initially to the one closest to me on this end, and eventually going to start to turn my conversation to the one in the middle. So I'm sitting on the end of this couch, talking to this girl, and she was a fun girl, and we were having a great conversation. She was pretty and lively, and it was excellent. We were laughing and joking, and a guy came up to me through the crowd, an acquaintance of mine, a guy that kind of knew me, and I kind of know him, and he walked up to me, and I said, "Hi, how you doing?" And he leaned down to me, and he whispered in a stage whisper, a loud whisper, "What are you doing, Zan? I've never seen you pick up a fat chick before." And he trundled off through the crowd. I looked down at this wonderful, beautiful girl that I've been talking to, and I saw her face fall. And it broke my heart. I saw her sadness, and I couldn't believe that he would say that. And he was already gone. I grabbed her by the hand, and I said, "Come with me." I picked her up out of the couch, put my arm in hers like this, and I spent the rest of the entire evening at the party with that girl. I ignored the other girl I was trying to see. I ignored all the girls there. I made her feel like she was the most beautiful girl there. We were the life of the party. We were telling jokes and wandering around, introducing ourselves to everybody. She was my girl for that night. That's what I'm saying when I say a natural seducer has compassion for women. They are all his girls. He takes care of them all. That's what I mean. You know, Shakespeare wrote, "She's beautiful, and therefore to be wooed. She is a woman, and therefore to be won." This is what he believes. He knows that most women are not really 100% single. Every woman that is even remotely pleasant to be around has a guy of some stripe somewhere. She either has a husband or a fiancé or a boyfriend or a guy she is seeing or a guy she is kind of dating or a guy she is sleeping with or a guy who likes her and she tolerates or a guy she can call. You know, to wait for a woman to be completely single is to wait a long time. True, she might be newly single, but that is a very narrow window. Most women will get involved on some level with someone very soon. And the enlightened seducer recognizes this and gives it no further thought. They are all his women. They are all his girls. It is his mission to make women feel beautiful again. It doesn't mean that he is going to steal her away from the guy she is with. It just means that in his presence, she feels like a woman. He shares the secret of women. They love men. They desire them. They desire sex as intimately and directly as any man. Yet sometimes they must disguise it. This is because of society, friends, family, her career. She must hide it. He realizes that a woman is complicit in her own seduction. She desires it. It's a very powerful frame of mind, because when you believe that, they start to believe it too. When you consider it like this, that they're all your girls, there is no such thing as picking a girl up. She's already picked up. She's already your girl. You respect that she's in a relationship, but she's still your girl. You have respect for her. Okay, trait number 2. Every true lover knows that the secret to his power over women lies in the power they have over him. Wow, that goes against everything that we've been taught. I'm the prize. She's just another girl. She has no power over me, right? Right. In theory, that is correct. But in practice, the notion of being unable to control your desires around her can be very seductive. Every seducer from Casanova to George Clooney recognized the power of showing a little vulnerability to a woman, and they used it very consciously. He comes across as being delighted by women. That's the way he is. And truly, he is delighted by women. He is delighted by the way they flow through life and the way they occupy this world. Their essence enamors and enchants him, and in return, he can't help but celebrate them. That's the key. He can't help it. He lets it be known that he is delighted by her. He genuinely likes women, and men that like women are liked by women. The trick is not to overcompensate, to be too vulnerable. You don't want to come across as inept or pathetically needy. Just occasional flashes of vulnerability or non-smoothness in her presence. This is because men who exhibit no weakness to a woman can sometimes be intimidating to her. She might reject you to prove a point and to bring you down to a level of humanness again. She feels intimidated and vulnerable sometimes, and she mistrusts a man who doesn't sometimes display a human side as well. So you may have massive experience with women. You might know exactly what to do or say in every situation. You still can't come across as too smooth, too rehearsed. Instead, naturals occasionally display a little weakness. You know, Cary Grant, when asked the secret of his success with women, he replied, "I tell them I can't get it up." The enlightened seducer enters into every one of his romantic adventures with newness and excitement, like it is his first love all over again. He knows that the impact he makes on her and that she makes on him will resonate with both of them for years. And will he be hurt? Will he feel the pangs of loss when it ends? Of course. But he loves it all just the same. He portrays an intense need for her, but he is not needy. There is not the slightest hint of neediness about him. Note the distinction. He needs her, he's not needy. Yes, he puts her on a pedestal, but it is a pedestal of his own choosing. That is the way I conduct my life and my actions. Remember, this is consciously done. I am completely unrestrained with women and having enormous fun. I am a slave to my love to women, and they can sense it. The weakness of women is language and words. Fortunately, that is the skill that can be strengthened. And I never ever worry about a woman's resistance to me. If she says she is not interested and leaves, I understand. But whenever I see her again, I immediately go up to her, smile and wink, and pick up right where I left off, just like she had never resisted me in the first place, because that would have been unthinkable. In other words, her boyfriend objections or whatever mean nothing to me. They're just words. Anybody that knows me very well knows that I usually don't play hard to get. I tell a girl right away that I like her. I directly state my desires to her. The key is to smile and wink and say it in a way that conveys desire, but gives her the impression that if she turns your offer down, you're not going to worry about it for even 2 seconds. She knows that you'll simply walk away. And inevitably, as you pursue this theme further with her, you will be asked why you were attracted to her. A normal guy would say something like, "Oh, you have a beautiful smile, that's why I like you," or whatever. This is what I do instead. She'll say, she'll be talking to me, she'll say, "Yeah, I'm an accountant over at which point I interrupt her and cut her off, because I love cutting girls off in mid-sentence. And I'll say, she's telling me she's an accountant, and I'll say, "Listen, you're kind of cute. I'm starting to like you. I want to see you again." And she's like taken aback, and she'll say, "Are you always this direct? Why are you so interested in me?" I'm like, I have no idea. I'm stumped. That's exactly what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know what it is about you, but I'm trying to figure that out. That's the kind of thing I say to a girl. Trait number 3. He has a purpose in life that isn't her. It doesn't mean he doesn't focus on her or delight in her, but he's going on an adventure through the jungle to see what magic he can find. And he would love it if she came along, but if she doesn't, that's okay. He's sad and he'll miss her because she's cute and she should come, but he's going anyway. You see, the reason women are so enamored by so-called jerks is because they like the fact that he has drama in his life that isn't her. He is too caught up in himself to spend much attention on her, and so she gets busy trying to correct it. Now, the mistake most men make is that they get a girlfriend and then they make her the adventure. She becomes the sole purpose and meaning of his life and his hope for the future. They stop what they are doing and focus only on her, and women don't want that. They don't want to be the adventure. They want to go on an adventure. They want you to take them on an adventure. They want to be caught up in something exciting, something larger than themselves. Something that allows them to escape their banal existence. But understand this, guys. My attitude and my whole approach to a girl is along the lines of, you're kind of hot. I think you'd make a good girlfriend for me. I may not be the one you're with forever, but I will be the one you always remember. I'll take you on an adventure, girl. I'm going anyway, and I'd love you to come, because you're cute. But if you'd rather not, I understand. Just remember you'll always have a fan out there, me. The key here is there are two ways you can approach a woman. One, with self-confidence, or two, with smug assumption. You can never let number one degrade into number two. You know what I mean? The whole, whatever, your loss. Lots of women out there. I'm the prize. Yes, it's true. It is her loss. Because you're a nice guy. But it's my loss too. I liked you. I had all these plans. I was going to take you everywhere, show you off to all my friends, make you wear tight little skirts. It was great. I had it all figured out. It's your loss too, but you got to go anyway. Trait number 4. He realizes that honesty is the greatest aphrodisiac. His biggest fear is to be perceived as just another man. He is not like other men, nor does he aspire to be. If he thought for a moment that she regretted her encounter with him in any way, or somehow felt sad or hurt because of him, it would break his heart. He can't bear the thought that a woman would ever feel she was manipulated by him. And yet, he doesn't mask his desires as a man. He never portrays indifference or apathy in an attempt to sneak under the wire. Instead, he embraces his sexuality, presents it to her without presumption. He is delighted if she responds favorably, because she's cute, but deeply respectful if she does not. He would never lie to a girl to get her into bed. Never. If a woman opens herself up to him physically and emotionally, he doesn't take that lightly. He has a lot of respect for that. He knows he can do a lot of damage by being dishonest in his intentions or about the future. You can hurt her heart, and she trusts you not to. You can take advantage of her vulnerability, yes, and get yours because you are a pickup artist. But you will hurt her heart and sadden her a little more. You will color all her future interactions with men. It's kind of like peeing in the pool. Everyone has to swim in it. A recurring event in my life is a woman saying this to me. I can't believe I just told you that. I just met you. I've never told that to anyone before. This is because she knows I would never take advantage of her in any way, never betray her confidentiality, never use it to manipulate her in any way. She's comfortable around me. Or I've heard this a lot too. I can't believe I just slept with you on the first night I met you. I'll ask, why did you? I don't know. You were just different. This is a recurring theme in my life. Somehow, she absolutely understands that I will respect her in the morning, and that I have a very high regard for her, and that I'm interested in experiencing all the delight she has to offer as a young, vibrant, sensual woman, and it's not just about sex. Everything about her is delicious. I convey that to her, and she picks up on it. I'm different than other men. In my experience, this honest, unthreatening, direct approach, women will open right up. The whole notion of waiting a while before you get intimate with her at this point becomes moot. I never feel it went too fast, and strangely enough, neither does she. She's comfortable enough to open herself up to me. Honesty is the greatest aphrodisiac. A woman knows in 5 minutes what I'm all about. She knows she can't put me into that category of let's just be friends. She doesn't even try. This is because I am honest and I let her know my intentions immediately. How do you let a girl know that you are honest? I tell her right away. I tell her I'm not like other men. She will believe you if you are sincere and say it with enough authority. I tell her this. I say, listen, what you need to know about me is that I'm very honest. I don't know what the future holds, but I know I like you. You're my type. And you realize if you hang around with me, you and I are going to get together. Feel that. I might not be the one you were with for the rest of your life, but I will be the one you remember. You know, I talk about how honesty is the most important thing you can learn in your dealings with women. It's true, it is. It truly is the #1 aphrodisiac, honesty. Having said that, I lie all the time. More correctly, it is important to get caught telling lies all the time. I just let the girl catch me in the lie and smile and wink at her. In fact, I always say things in such a way that the girl is never really sure if I'm telling the truth or not. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. A girl says to me, "What sign are you?" Me, I would say, "Guess." She'll say, "Libra," or whatever. "What? That's amazing. How did you guess that? I am a Libra." "Really? I got it right? So when's your birthday?" And I will say something like, "December." "You lied. You aren't a Libra." "I'm not?" Smile and wink at her. "I'm not." "What?" She'll say, "No, I knew you were lying." She's pretending to be offended. And I'm like, well, tell you what then. Come give me a kiss and I'll forgive you. Smile and wink. And she'll say, "But you were the one that lied." "Yeah, but you're right. Buy me a drink and we'll call it even." That's the kind of banter you want to get going. You want to get her to the point where she's pretending to be offended, but then you're in. She catches you in white lies. You're honest, but you kind of tell lies. Here's a real life example from a while ago at a very crowded nightclub. I was trying to make my way to the bar to order a drink and it was really busy. And I was just about there when a girl tapped me on the shoulder. I turned around and she was hot. And not only was she hot, but she was there with some very pretty girlfriends as well. There's 3 of them all together. I'm like, "Well, hello." So she smiles sweetly at me and says, "Hey, I think you should let me and my friends go ahead of you today because today is my birthday." And I smiled even more sweetly and said, "Really? Well, that's weird because today's my birthday too." "Really? No, I don't believe you. What's your sign?" And I'm like, let's see, Gemini, Capricorn, Leo, Scorpio. She pretends to be offended at my lie and she says, "I knew it. It's not your birthday." Me pretending to be sorry. "All right, you caught me. I am lying. It's not my birthday." So she's laughing and she says, "Well, I guess that's okay. It's not my birthday today either. It's really tomorrow, but we're celebrating today. So now you have to let us go ahead of you to the bar." And I'm like, "I don't think so. You lied to me about your birthday." "But so did you." "Yes, but you lied first." Then I turned around and ordered my drink. And as I was walking away, I said, "See ya, birthday girl. It's fun." And I didn't give in to what guys would normally do. "Okay, go ahead of me. Just this one time though. They're trying to still be cool. Now I'll just let you through this one time, but I would never normally do that." I don't do that. And because I didn't give in, those girls followed me around all night. So be very honest, but get caught telling lies, if you know what I mean. Trait number 5. He never kisses and tells. Ever. He feels no need to validate himself to other men by bragging about his exploits. He never kisses and tells. His encounters with women are never about bolstering his own self-esteem or adding another notch to his bedpost. It is all about respect. This is because he is not interested in taking something, but always in sharing something with her. For he knows that all experiences in life are amplified once they are shared. If she doesn't feel like a queen, he doesn't feel like a king. So he's never out to get laid. That isn't the goal. His only desire is to share, to interact with a beautiful woman. He believes that if a woman trusts him enough to open herself up to him physically and emotionally, it is a profound thing. Having said that, if she tells other people, it is actually very good. He has nothing to hide. He is not ashamed of his love for women. Understand what I'm saying when I say he never kisses and tells. It's important. Understand the principle behind it. Not that you care other people that hear about it. Why does a natural never go around telling people that she slept with him? Respect. That's why. Respect for her. You see, a man can sleep with lots of women, and he's a stud. If a woman does the same, she's a slut. Unfair double standards, to be sure. It's the way it is. So out of respect for her and her reputation, he never kisses and tells. You know, a lot of guys will go on a date with a girl, get a kiss on the cheek goodnight, and then brag to their buddies, high five. "Yeah, she was all over me." I lie the other way. My friends ask me how it went with the girl the night before. I always just say, "It was really nice. I really like her. She's a cool girl. She's a really nice girl." In fact, my friends know not to even bother to ask me anymore. So how do you let her know that you never kiss and tell? I tell her. One of the things I tell right away, I'm very discreet. Let her do it. In fact, if a woman says to me, wow, that was amazing, I always laugh and say, don't tell me, tell all your friends. What is the biggest reason a girl will give you any last-minute resistance to sleeping with you? You know that feeling, we've all been there. We've all heard the cliched phrase, and this is why. You won't respect me in the morning. Think about that. Think about what she is saying. That fear looms large on the horizon of most women. She is so afraid that you're going to convince her to have sex with you, then depart hastily right then or in the morning, and the next day go around and brag to all your buddies how cool you are and how easy she was. She's afraid of that. That is a very big concern for women. Think how devastated a nice girl will feel. They have to worry about appearing too easy and about the reputation. You don't have to. Well, I have this notion, and you can bet that all natural seducers throughout history have this notion as well, or have had this notion. And I believe it is a rarity in most men. The notion is this: a woman that sleeps with me, a woman that trusts me, enough to open her body, her emotions, and her heart to me. Well, that is a very profound thing. That is something that can never be taken lightly. You have to hold her and her emotions very carefully in your hands. Your goal should always be to leave her better than you found her. That, my friends, is true respect. And a woman that senses this from you will open herself up to you in ways you never dreamed. The whole concept of last-minute resistance goes right out the window. No such thing. See, she already likes you. She wants to be intimate with you. She wants it very much. But she needs to feel that you respect her. And a true seducer knows the secret of women. It is this: if she knew, if she really believed that no one would ever find out, not her friends, not her family, not her co-workers, she will open herself up to you in amazing ways. That's why these guys never kiss and tell. This is why women will artificially and arbitrarily put a time limit on how soon they will sleep with you. It is common for her to want to wait 3 dates or so, because she feels if she waits that long, and if you buy her dinner and a movie 3 times, the chances are slimmer that you're going to just get yours and then leave her. Well, I tell you this, if I really like a girl, there is no way I want to wait 3 days to enjoy intimacy with her. I like her. I'm excited by her. That just isn't in my nature. I'm a bon vivant. I like to live well, and I like to experience everything in its entirety. I always explain to a girl that I am not content to just look at her. I make no apologies for my desires as a man. I explain to her that I love life and have no desire to bridle my enthusiasm for life. I will tell her something like this. I will say, it is not in my nature to experience things only partially. I am a lover of life. I like to live well, and I need to experience everything in its entirety. If I travel to another country, for instance, I don't stay on the tourist track. I can't help but immerse myself fully into the culture, to absorb it through my skin, to breathe it, to live it, to fade into it. A woman to me is like wine, like a fine wine of the rarest vintage. I can't be content with just looking at her. I absolutely must experience this wine on all levels. I need to smell it, to draw in the exquisite bouquet, to carefully observe its clarity and color, its texture and nuance. And finally, I must drink it all in, savoring every drop, tasting it, experiencing it, breathing it, living it, fading into it. Make no apologies for who you are. Trait number 6. He never defends himself, ever. Not from a reputation or from a challenge from her. If she challenges him, he makes fun of her. For instance, if she accuses me of being a player, I laugh and say something like, "What? So you do know who I am? You lied." He never defend it, deflect it. He never defends himself from a reputation. When accused of being a player or whatever, he neither denies nor confirms. He makes fun of the situation. You have no need to defend yourself. You know who you are. By defending yourself, you validate it. The most I'll ever defend myself is something like this. Here's an example conversation. I'll say something like this to a girl. I'll say, you know what I'm all about? I'm the most honest guy you've ever met. I'm not like other guys. Most guys will hide their natural impulses because they really like you and they want to give you a good impression. I don't. The difference between me and them is that I really like you and I let it be known I don't hide my desires. And she'll say something like, so you're a player. I never play with emotions. I desire you. That much is true. I very much want you to stay. But if you go, I understand. Either way, you have my highest respect, but you should stay. You're cute. And she will say something like, I don't want to just be another one of your girls. I understand. Listen, I like you a lot. You're definitely my type of girl. I want to see you now and in the future. I can only promise you two things. Number one, I will never lie to you or play with your emotions. And number two, I will take you higher than you've ever been. You see, an enlightened seducer knows the truth that he never plays with a woman's emotions. And because he knows this, he is at peace with himself. And he has no need to attempt an apology or justification for the way he is. He loves women. He desires neither empathy nor absolution or even understanding. He has no need to defend himself because women are his greatest defenders. Never respond to her challenges. Here's another example of a story. I was in a bar one time and I was leaning kind of like on the bar, and out of the corner of my eye I saw this girl making a beeline through the crowd towards me. And I thought, oh, here comes trouble. And so I stood up and I'm standing there, and sure enough, she came and tapped me on the shoulder, and I turned around and she said, excuse me, are you Zan? And I said, yes. And she says, I thought so. You tried to pick up my friend Judy. And I'm like, really? Was I successful? And she's like, no, she saw right through your little games right away. And I said to her, well, you know, maybe I was trying to get to Judy, but really to get to Judy, to get to you, to get to know you. And she laughs and she says, no, as if your little games wouldn't work on me. You think you're this guy. And so she was giving me all these challenges and stuff. And I said to her, you know, I think my games would work on you quite well, actually. And she says, she said, I don't think so. She said, okay, if you think you're so good. She says, go ahead, say something. Say something, try and seduce me. And so I said, okay, yeah, well, I'll respond to that. So I leaned into her and I put my arm around her like this, and I'm leaning right in, and I'm right in close to her face. And I said to her, kind of whispering, I said, did you come through the crowd just now to come say hello to me, come talk to me? And she said, yes. And I said, then I've already seduced you. And I walked away. Trait number 7. He never takes himself, her, or the situation seriously. He is not afraid to use self-deprecating humor. Everything is said with a smile and a wink, like an inside secret that they both share. The ability to make fun of yourself. That's important. He who laughs at himself will never cease to be amused. What most men don't understand is this. When a woman says in dating profiles or magazine surveys, polls, that she likes a sense of humor in a man, this is what she's talking about. A man who has the confidence to make fun of himself. The true seducer understands this. You know, we try and be too cool. We try to make jokes at others' expense. That is not the type of humor that women find attractive. You know, Antonio Banderas, when interviewed about the movie Zorro, he said, the thing that makes Zorro appealing, or anyone appealing, is a sense of humor. It's so important that Zorro has the capacity of laughing at himself. If you can't do that, the character becomes arrogant. This is critical. It's critical. And as Robert Greene said about seducers in his classic work, The Art of Seduction, he said, all have a sense of style and self-deprecation.